Good morning, y'all. Well, it is day 84, and I stayed at the Pine Knob shelter last night. I was the only one in the shelter. Everybody else stayed outside tenting. And heard and saw a few mice, but nothing spectacular. And I was really tired last night. I actually fell asleep pretty early, around 9 o'clock, but again, I did the 25 miles or so I was pretty tired. It is sprinkling rain right now, and they are calling for 60% chance of rain, thunderstorms today, which is new because that wasn't in the forecast yesterday or day before. Forecast was to be close to 90 degrees today and tomorrow, and I think now the high is only 85, so it dropped a little bit. And yeah, I'm just trying to get some of these 20 milers under my belt here. This is pretty good terrain, really all the way to Duncannon, Pennsylvania. I mean, there's some ups and downs, but the inclines are not as steep, and a lot of the trail is without a lot, rocks and roots, so make better time. But I'm going to try to do another 20 or 23 miler today, and that's gonna put me over another milestone, which we will show you when we get there. All right, y'all, it's Friday and it's raining, so hope everybody's getting ready for their own weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye. In England, a young man named Jeremiah, son of a miner who enjoyed socializing and partying, was expelled from the Quakers for his drinking and keeping loose company.
But he had talents in math and surveying, and he went down to London to be admitted to the Royal Society. Another young man named Charlie, son of a baker, was much more sedate, reserved, and a meticulous observer of nature and geography. He joined the Royal Observatory of Greenwich, England, and these two English lads worked on several projects together. But in the meantime, for the past 100 years, there was an ongoing dispute and even fighting between the Calvert family of Maryland and the Penn family of Pennsylvania over property rights. So the two families hired Charlie and Jeremiah to settle their disputes over the boundaries of the two colonies, and they started in 1763. It would take them 5 years, lugging around some of the most sophisticated equipment of its time across hundreds of miles of wilderness, and cement their place in the timeline of America and have enormous consequences, including a civil war some 100 years later. Charlie Mason and Jeremiah Dixon returned to England after their survey was complete, and they died penniless and are buried in unmarked graves. But the Mason-Dixon line would forever be etched in the history books of America.
Hey y'all, well, day 84 has come to an end, and I was hoping to get a 20 to 22, maybe even a 24 mile day in, but man, the last section of Maryland was very, very rocky, and I was talking to several hikers a while ago, and they were all kind of blown away by it too, because I think we got, I don't know, just kind of mesmerized yesterday by easy terrain, able to do 24, 25, but boy, not today. I figured out pretty quickly I wasn't going to make the mark to the 22, so I had to kind of recalibrate and figure out what I was going to do. So I got into Pennsylvania, which was a big thing, and there's a state park right at the border called the Penmar State Park, and so I pulled in there and was there were comments that said that there was a grill and a store and bathrooms and all this other stuff, but none of that's open. And talking to the workers, they said it hadn't been open in years. So the nice thing you could do though is that you could call and order a pizza from there, which is what a lot of the hikers were doing. So I did the same thing. I was hungry, and I got a big 2-liter Diet Coke as well. and just sat there and kind of cooled off and ate my dinner. And there's a campground just a mile past that park. So that's where I am now. I'm down here on Falls Creek, and there's about 20 campsites here, and I just chose one, and it's worked out real nice. So set the tent up, and didn't really have to cook because I ate back up there at that park. Yeah, was able to work on some videos here, and but big day, you know. I got to leave that Pine Knob shelter, and there were 4 or 5 fairly tough ascents, and nothing like 3 or 4 miles, but some of them were at least a mile long, and just really, really rocky. And it was also really, really humid. It rained a little bit this morning, but nothing major. But boy, was it humid, and I had to stop multiple times and fill up both of my water bottles because I was really hitting that hard today. But we're here, and I made it over 17 miles, which is what I'm trying to do every day. So I think it's a little over 18 miles today. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, see how far I can get. And don't really have that planned out very well either. But I think it's going to be a shelter, and then the following day I can get into a hostel and get cleaned up and load up some of these videos again. So I'm working my way really toward Carlisle or Duncannon, Pennsylvania at this point. My shoes have about 600 miles on it, and they are starting to tear on the outsides or on the insides of both shoes. So I'm gonna have to get a new pair. I'll get my wife just to mail them to me and pick them up in post office, and probably in Duncannon. But yeah, that's what's going on. It was just a hot, humid day. But you know, the big thing today was going across that Mason-Dixon line and knocking off another state, Maryland. So now we're in Pennsylvania. We'll be in Pennsylvania. I'll be in this state for a while because it turns and goes eastward, and I think there's 250 miles or something like that in this state. But yeah, another state down, and I'm in the 7th state of 14. So we're getting there. And thanks for watching, y'all. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.